Joining us is Andrea Stricker. She's a deputy director of the Foundation for Defense of Democracies. I am really interested to hear a little bit more background as to which countries currently hold the majority of the world's nuclear weapons and how that has changed in recent years.
Sure. Thanks for having me, Natasha. Well, I think there's reason for optimism and concern with global nuclear war and the risk of nuclear arms racing. We've seen relative stability underpinned by NATO, American, and European nuclear weapons since the end of the Cold War. We're no longer at the high of around 60,000 nuclear weapons that the US and the Soviet Union possessed. Only 9 countries have atomic weapons today, and several more have been thwarted or stopped from building them. Most recently, Israel stopping Iran from doing so. And even one has disarmed. So I think there is reason to see the silver lining, but of course, reason for concern. I think the main driver of more recent nuclear buildups is going to be China as it moves to build around 1,500 nuclear weapons. And that's going to raise questions about whether the US or Russia are going to have to build as well.
What kind of modernization efforts are we seeing in nuclear programs globally, and which countries are expanding their arsenals the fastest?
Well, so far, the US and Russia are limited right now. There is still a remaining nuclear arms control treaty called New START, but it does expire in February 2026. And then both countries could undertake additional expansion. And China is the main mover. The UK is also supposedly building up. And then we know less about India and Pakistan and North Korea. So there is concern that these numbers will be on the rise. But again, we have some reason to think that there is stability as far as countries using these weapons. We do need to be concerned about Russia's potential use of weapons in Ukraine. It only really takes one madman or miscalculation for these weapons to get used, and then other countries then have to decide whether to intervene as well.
You know, the last thing I just want to ask you, with tensions between major powers rising, how real do you think the risk today of a nuclear weapon actually being used, either deliberately or by accident, is? Because there are always accidents as well.
That's right. And we have to remember that the doctrine of mutually assured destruction has only been around for 80 years. So it's not a long history ultimately to test it. And we are one accident or one miscalculation away, one misguided leader's decision away from escalation. So it is ideal to keep our arsenals as low as possible. But the main thing that we want to see to deter the start of conflicts is America and its allies having robust nuclear capabilities to even prevent conflicts from starting, and finding ways to deter additional proliferation and buildups by adversaries.
All right, Andrea, I'd like to thank you so much for joining us. Very interesting to hear your insight.